What's up? It's Chloe Tang, and you're listening to SoundAdvice.
Would love for you to just tell us a little bit about how you describe your sound.
For sure, yeah. I would say it's definitely in the pop world, a little bit R&B leaning, and a little bit of like hip hop production inspiration in there as well. It is definitely like very mixed and slightly ambiguous, but I would say overall pretty commercially friendly, and also, yeah, very much like pop sensibilities.
You just came out with a song recently.
Yes.
What did the creative process for that look like?
That one, so the song's called Options, and it was definitely one of those where I purposefully went into a writing session with a producer that I'm very, very like comfortable with, and so that helped so much. And then I actually had a new writer, someone I had never worked with before, coming in as the other songwriter. So it was cool to have like someone that, you know, to me is like vetted into like my circle and stuff like that. And then somebody who was new who came in and kind of like had a fresh set of ears. And so it was very fun, free flowing, and it really just like came very naturally. So that one was probably one of the most fun ones I'd say I have. Yeah.
I feel like you've also worked with so many really iconic writers and producers. How do you approach collaborations when it comes to your music?
There's a lot of different avenues, I think. A lot of times it's like more industry like based, where like, you know, their manager or my manager will reach out to their manager, and then it's kind of more like very much like a blind date situation where they're like placing you in a room with somebody. But there are also a lot of times where I've met people through other people, and a lot of the times the recommendations coming from close friends that are songwriters, they'll say, oh, I think you should work with this person. It would be such a good vibe personality wise, and also I think they would really understand your sound. Those tend to be my favorite, where it's like personal recommendation type of thing. And then sometimes I'm just like, just sliding into DMs. So it just kind of depends. Yeah.
I heard you also went and opened for Dua Lipa.
Yes.
Was that insane? Like, how did you feel about that when you got the opportunity, and what was that like?
It truly was like, the only word that I can use is like surreal. It didn't feel like it was happening from the moment that I got the call that it was confirmed all the way to even after the show. The whole experience was just so incredible, and like just meeting her and just being like in the presence of, just at the time it was in 2018. So she was really, I mean, obviously now she's a superstar. She was kind of like still coming up a bit. And so it was really cool and inspiring to be in her presence as well.
Growing up in Arizona, and then also just like so many parts of your identity, I feel like leak into your music. How does your identity and personal background and affect your artistic expression?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big one. It's a big influence in that area, because my whole journey of kind of finding myself and, you know, being in my 20s and that kind of thing, that the thing that everyone goes through, like their identity crisis and that kind of thing, that was really shaped around and had a lot to do with my like cultural identity and like my ethnic background. And I just I never felt comfortable really like owning it. And then fortunately I moved to LA, and it kind of like, it really changed things for me, and I finally felt like very accepted. And so I think a lot of that, not directly, not like literally in my lyrics, but like very much so coming from like that place, has inspired my music in so many ways, and just like the themes of empowerment and the themes of like not caring or giving a fuck about what people
you're allowed to say that. Say it out. Say it louder.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
What advice do you have for emerging artists, women, API creators, really wanting to make it and kind of be where you are today, what kind of advice do you have from what you've experienced so far?
Oh, I could really go on about this, but I'm going to keep it short. I think that one really big thing is there are going to be so many obstacles that are obviously in the industry, as we know, but not only in the industry, but also kind of like in your personal life. Like people don't really talk about that, but in your personal life, I think there's a lot of things mentally that you have to overcome and just kind of like push through. And I think even I still struggle with like powering through some of these like doubts and like, the just like imposter syndrome and stuff like that, and also just the people that you're around, So I think just like powering through a lot of that personal stuff will eventually help you in your career, because it's like it really all comes from a personal place,
Powering.
Powering.
So cute.